What's up folks, Jam Book Reviews here, and today I'll be reviewing Groundings with My Brothers by Walter Rodney. Now Walter Rodney was a famous Guyanese intellectual, historian and political activist who focused on Pan-African issues. His most famous work, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, published in 1972, was a groundbreaking study on European colonialism and its continued negative effects on African development. Walter Rodney was brutally assassinated via car bomb in 1980 at the age of 38 because of his political activities aimed at uniting the black and Indian populations in Guyana. Now, to review the book, it is necessary to give context as to when it was published. Walter Rodney had just been banned from returning to Jamaica, where he was a lecturer at the University of the West Indies by the Jamaican government. This ban caused probably the only student-led riot in the country's history, causing millions worth of property damage. Now, why would Jamaican's government ban a teacher? Well, in the months prior to the ban, Rodney was going to various inner-city communities in the island, trying to educate the illiterate masses on their history and how to use that information to effect change in their society. Jamaica had just gained independence a decade before, and most of what was being taught in school was basically the British version of history, and many couldn't even go to school because of poverty. So Walter tried to rectify this lack of knowledge, and you can guess that the elites didn't like this, hence why they banned him. The book is based on transcriptions of the speeches Rodney gave in the inner city. He was well versed in the histories of Jamaica, the Caribbean and Africa, and he was able to convey the information in a way so that even the unlearned could easily understand. The book is divided into 6 chapters. The first part is geared towards explaining that though Jamaica is now independent, the ruling elites operated like a new set of slave masters. The middle chapters link the oppression of Jamaican citizens to that of black Americans in the USA and Africans on the continent, and explains the burgeoning Black Power movement, linking it to global politics. Later chapters focus on African history, focusing on Nile Valley civilizations and various other kingdoms in Africa. The last chapter are dedicated to the application of the knowledge, giving you examples such as former Prime Minister of Tanzania, Julius Nyerere's Ujamaa program. Now you might be saying a lot of this is now common knowledge, but back then studies of Africa and its diasporas were not common or mainstream, so Walter Rodney can be considered one of the pioneers of African studies. Now, this book can also be considered one of the essential texts that kicked off the Black Power movement in Jamaica. Remember, it was published in 1969, and the 1970s was when Rastafari started to become mainstream in Jamaican culture and society, with reggae and things like that. And Michael Manley became Prime Minister on a platform heavily influenced by the Black Power movement. Now, you might be saying, is this book still relevant? Well, it was recently republished by Verso in 2019 with a new introduction and commentaries, which I suspect is because of the Black Lives Matter movement and all that coming back. So this book is still relevant. The book is relatively short and can be read in an evening, so if you are new to African studies, I'd recommend it. Similar books include Wretched of the Earth by Frantz Fanon and A History of Negro Revolt by C.L.R. James. Thank you for listening to my review. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.